The rivalry between the All Blacks and the Springboks has never been just another rugby contest. It represents decades of unforgettable battles, legendary players, and two rugby nations that have consistently pushed each other to the limit. Every time these teams prepare to meet, fans expect another chapter filled with intensity, drama, and tactical brilliance. Now, former All Blacks captain Sam Cane has shared a fascinating insight that offers a fresh perspective on how Dave Rennie plans to challenge the reigning world champions. As anticipation continues to build for the rugby's greatest rivalry series, supporters across New Zealand and South Africa are eagerly discussing team selections and possible game plans. While many conversations focus on explosive attacking players and highlight real moments, Sam Cane believes the outcome of the series could be decided by something much simpler but equally important: defensive discipline and smart decision-making. Speaking during a rugby discussion alongside former All Blacks fly-half Stephen Donald and presenter Kirsty Stanway-Thorne, Sam Cane reflected on the lessons he learned while playing under Dave Rennie at the Chiefs. According to him, one particular coaching philosophy has remained with him throughout his entire career and could once again influence New Zealand's approach against South Africa. For years, the Springboks have built their identity around power and physical dominance. Their forwards are famous for winning collisions, controlling the gain line, and wearing opponents down through relentless pressure. Many teams have tried to match that physicality with brute force, but history has shown that very few have succeeded over a full 80 minutes. That is exactly why Dave Rennie preferred a different approach. Rather than encouraging his players to wrestle with South Africa's powerful runners in upright tackles, Rennie wanted his team to attack the problem from a completely different angle. His message was clear: bring the big ball carriers to ground as quickly as possible, avoid lengthy physical battles, and immediately get back into the defensive line. It was never about proving who was stronger. It was about being smarter, quicker, and more efficient than the opposition. According to Sam Cane, when Dave Rennie coached the Chiefs, he often selected his forward pack based on one specific strength. He looked for players who could consistently execute effective chop tackles. Those low tackles prevented powerful runners from generating momentum and allowed defenders to reset much faster. That coaching philosophy perfectly suited Sam Cane's own style of play. Instead of trying to overpower opponents who often outweighed him, he focused on excellent technique, sharp timing, and accurate body positioning. Bringing powerful runners to ground quickly became one of the biggest strengths of his game, and it was something he trusted every time he faced South African opposition. The formula sounded simple, but executing it required enormous discipline. Get underneath the ball carrier. Win the shoulder battle. Drive through the tackle. Get back on your feet. Repeat the process again and again. Against a team like the Springboks, consistently applying that strategy could slowly reduce the effectiveness of their powerful forward pack and force them to work much harder for every meter they gained. During the conversation, Stephen Donald admitted that facing South African teams was always one of rugby's greatest physical challenges. Even backs who were only involved in a handful of tackles could immediately feel the sheer strength of the Springboks, while forwards often left the field completely exhausted after 80 minutes of relentless collisions. However, Sam Cane explained that preparation under Dave Rennie was never based on fear. Instead, it centered on trust. Every player understood their role, believed in the system, and focused on executing the game plan rather than becoming distracted by South Africa's intimidating physical reputation. Even though these tactical discussions happened more than a decade ago, Sam Cane believes the overall challenge remains remarkably similar today. The Springboks continue to dominate through physicality, powerful ball carrying, and their ability to control the gain line. Their style has evolved over the years, but the foundation of their success remains the same. That is why many of Dave Rennie's ideas could still be just as effective in the modern game. As supporters analyze the current All Black squad, one player continues to attract significant attention: Luke Jacobson. Having previously worked under Dave Rennie, Luke Jacobson possesses exactly the type of defensive qualities that fit this tactical approach. His aggressive tackling, relentless work rate, and outstanding defensive awareness have earned widespread praise throughout New Zealand rugby. In fact, Sam Cane believes that very few players in New Zealand can produce harder or more effective tackles than Luke Jacobson. If defensive efficiency becomes one of the key selection priorities, players with those qualities could become extremely valuable during the upcoming series against South Africa. Of course, defeating the Springboks requires much more than simply making strong tackles. Discipline remains essential, fitness becomes critical. Decision-making under pressure often separates victory from defeat. South Africa has built its recent success by forcing opponents into mistakes. The moment a team loses its structure or concentration, the Springboks are ready to capitalize with ruthless efficiency. That is why Dave Rennie's philosophy extends far beyond physical effort alone. Every tackle must serve a purpose. Every defensive decision must support the overall strategy. Every player must remain committed for the full 80 minutes. Perhaps the most surprising moment from Sam Cane's interview came when the conversation turned towards playing at altitude in South Africa. For years, many rugby supporters have believed that the Springboks enjoy a huge natural advantage whenever matches are played on the highveld because they are supposedly more accustomed to those conditions. But Sam Cane challenged that popular belief. He described it as one of rugby's biggest misconceptions. According to Sam Cane, not every Springbok regularly plays at altitude anymore. Modern professional rugby has players competing across different countries and competitions throughout the year, meaning many South African internationals spend significant periods away from the highveld. From his perspective, altitude certainly affects both teams, but it is not the overwhelming advantage that many people assume. Instead, success depends far more on preparation, conditioning, recovery, and adapting quickly once players arrive. That viewpoint provides an entirely new way of looking at one of rugby's most talked about challenges. Rather than worrying about myths surrounding altitude, the All Blacks appear focused on preparation, discipline, and executing their tactical plan with precision. It is an approach built through years of experience, countless international battles, and the belief that smart rugby can overcome even the toughest physical challenges. As another chapter of this historic rivalry approaches, excitement continues to grow throughout the rugby world. Supporters know these matches are rarely decided by reputation alone. Every series creates new stars. Every test match delivers unforgettable moments. Every collision adds another page to one of rugby's greatest rivalries. For Dave Rennie, the objective is straightforward. Select the right players. Trust the game plan. Maintain discipline under pressure, and ensure every player performs their role from the opening whistle until the final minute. For the Springboks, the mission remains equally clear. Dominate the gain line. Control possession. Use physicality to place constant pressure on the opposition. With world-class talent available on both sides, the difference between victory and defeat could come down to a single tackle, a crucial turnover, or one perfectly timed decision. Although Sam Cane did not reveal any secret tactical blueprint, his comments have given rugby fans a valuable glimpse into the thinking of Dave Rennie. They highlight that beating South Africa has never been about matching power with power. Instead, success comes from discipline, intelligent defense, patience, relentless effort, and trusting a system that has been carefully developed over many years. As the countdown to another unforgettable showdown continues, anticipation is reaching new heights. Fans around the world are eager to discover whether Dave Rennie's tactical philosophy can once again challenge the Springboks or whether South Africa's proven physical style will continue to dominate international rugby. One thing, however, is beyond any doubt. Whenever the All Blacks and the Springboks meet, history provides the backdrop, but the players on the field create the next